Hello and welcome to another episode of Supplement Reviews, where we review top selling supplements or unique supplements all around the world and point out what they're doing well, what they could be doing better, and what you can do if you'd like to beat them, if you were to be so bold as to compete against them. My name is Christian Baker. I'm the founder and CEO of Profound Formulas. I've got 16 years in the dietary supplement industry, including time with AG1 and GNC. And now, as the founder of Profound Formulas, I make products for companies that actually do something for clients, help them feel something, so they come back time and time again and stay subscribed. So today we're going to explore a product called P24 Amplifye, or Amplifye P24. I believe when it launched back in 2019, it was called Digestiva, but we'll go into the names and everything shortly. Like all product review videos, we don't spend too much time on the website or the branding and all these other things. We try to go straight to the point of truth, which is the supplement facts panel. So let's bring that up now. Here we go. All right. So the interesting thing about today's product is that it has one ingredient. That's it. If you've seen some of my previous reviews, you'll have seen me review formulas with 20, 30, 50 ingredients, whatever. I did one on Grunes that has a ton of ingredients, but this has one. So firstly, I really love their boldness. They're committing big time here to just using one ingredient to solve a very specific issue. Now, some of that confidence came from the fact that this was founded by 4 doctors, and it was done based on research conducted at UC Davis. So there's obviously something going on here. Now, the one ingredient they use is something called coumamolicin, a branded version of it called the P24 protease enzyme. So let's go in reverse here for a second. So protease is an enzyme which helps your body break down protein. So you make some proteases. So in your stomach, you have a ton of hydrochloric acid, which obviously helps break things down. In that environment, proteases work really well. And there is one called pepsin that your body makes itself. You also get some proteases and other enzymes from foods. For example, pineapple is a great source of bromelain, which is a protease, and papaya is a great source of papain, also another protease. The reason you might want to take extra enzymes, and why some people do, is because it can help with bloating, gas, smoother digestion, and as you'll see from the biggest marketing angle and something they can back up with studies on this brand, one thing that you can also enhance is through proper absorption, is better absorption of the foods that you eat, including the nutrients trapped in that food. So this is a branded ingredient. And as you may remember from other videos, branded ingredient basically means a company has paid a bunch of money, funded a lot of studies to prove it actually works, published those studies and had everything verified. And you can find those studies not just on their website, but also in like archives like PubMed. And then they pay a bunch of other money to build an entire frame around it. So they've got like a reliable supply chain. They test the hell out of it. They do studies and everything. And then they protect it so that no one else can copy the exact same thing like they do. And if you're putting in your product, you're getting the exact same version every time because it's tested and all that stuff. So it's just a premium version of something. So this is a super sexy branded version of a protease enzyme. This was actually discovered originally in hot springs in Japan. So it was found in the wild, a random enzyme, and then it was studied further and found that there was extremely stable in extremely acidic environments, hence suitable to the stomach, and very effective at helping break down proteins. So you'll notice they talk about one reason you might want to take it is that you might be able to unlock as much as 2 times, I can't highlight this thing, 2 times more bioavailable nutrients from any protein. So what that basically means is if you're eating any protein, steak, chicken, beef, eggs, tofu, milk, whatever, if you can break things down better, you make what's inside it more bioavailable, so more available for your body to actually use it. So that means you absorb more of the protein itself. So you can use your protein for obviously building muscles, but important things like hair, skin and nails, all these things. And you can get other nutrients that are locked up in the foods too. For example, minerals like iron that are locked up in the beef, minerals like calcium that are locked up in the dairy. So you get a lot more out of it. And obviously by digesting it better, you also get those other benefits mentioned before, like less bloating and gas. Now, when I've analyzed ingredient panels, I also talk about other ingredients, otherwise known as the excipients. These are the things that are necessary to include in a product to make it stable. So it keeps it shelf stable, so it has a long shelf life. It stops it falling apart in the packaging. It keeps it intact, so it's ready for when you take it. So hypermellose is just a fancy word or an alternative word for something else called methyl cellulose as well. This is a plant fiber that comes from trees, vegetables, and different things. So it's got a crazy name, but it's a very natural, normal thing. But these two are kind of generic choices. So maltodextrin is it's a white carb that comes from stringing together a bunch of sugars to make a chain. So it's technically a complex carb. But basically, you can think of like a generic placeholder carb, which is used in a lot of instances just because it's very stable. But it does cop criticism because it's considered like just a trashy white carb. And magnesium stearate, that is also a natural preservative to help with shelf life and things like that. So these are there for a reason. It's not like they want to put something crappy in there, but you can get better versions. So instead of maltodextrin or magnesium stearate, you could use instead of the maltodextrin, you could use bamboo silica. So it's very dry. You could use rice hulls, things to make it more dry, stable. Instead of magnesium stearate, you could use something called ascorbyl palmitate, which is a fat-soluble version of vitamin C. Also very good as a natural preservative. But again, even though they do a similar job, perception-wise, they sound better. And also digestion-wise, for your customers, it is slightly better as well. Now, I don't normally stray from the supplement facts panel too much, but I do want to go down a little bit just because this is quite a complex product and there's only one ingredient. So it's not like we're going to read through any more in the panel. But interestingly, they do, thank God, help customers by talking a lot through the product of the site. So how it works, it, activates when it hits your stomach acid, helps you unlock proteins, making them more usable, helps you absorb things better, which is great. And these are just some dot points, but this is actually quite good. So I don't like how diluted they've gone here. They're going for sleep, energy, muscles, whatever. I think they should have just focused purely on this. So better digestion. So many people have crappy digestion and need better digestion. And as a side effect, obviously, you get less sluggish after meals, so you can get more clarity, whatever. But breaking down protein and improving digestion, that's a huge win. So feel better when you eat something, get more out of the foods you eat. That's it. Just double down, triple down on that. And this is really cool. So they quantify how much more protein is available for you to absorb when you eat certain foods. So 2.5 times more in beef, 3.2 times more in tofu, and you get everything else here like egg, salmon, pork, 4.8, which is crazy. So getting more protein out of those ribs. Even whey protein, which is already very well absorbed because it's a powder, you're still going to get 1.5x on that. Lentils, a ton of fiber, tricky to break down, 2.1x on the protein, really cool. And then we've got things from clinicians here, which whatever that's sciencey. It's not really as relatable, but when you get to the human side of things, it tends to be a bit more relatable. But this is weird. Muscle hypertrophy, excellent. Who wrote this? A robot? Yeah, that's weird. That's not a good looking testimonial. So, okay, what? Anyway, maybe they'll get better. Getting more out of less. I think it's meant to be getting more out of less. What the hell is going on here? Okay, well, this is a serious issue, gastroparesis. That's kind of that's actually a big one now with GLP-1 users. So it's like when your digestion is too slow and things don't really move along, and you often end up getting bloated and gassy, and even sometimes you end up vomiting because you just can't pass the food through. So this is pretty cool. If this can help people feel more confident about eating larger portions of protein, not worrying about triggering symptoms, that's great. So that's actually very positive. Apologies for laughing at the typo there. Anyone can make a typo. Cool. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, there we go. GLP-1 users, you need this. So yeah, there we go. That makes total sense. So I think, yeah, if they tap into that trend, that could be massive. So this version of the product is only about a year old. Like they launched this, I think, last June, but the research is much older. So it's still going. So I hope it does really well. But I just think they need to clean up their branding. So we've talked about they do well. We've talked about what they could do better, basically clean up these excipients. And what you could do if you want to compete with them obviously you got to secure yourself a really good enzyme. So if you can't get this one and you want to get another one, just make sure it's good, obviously, or you can get this one if you can pay up for it, if they don't have a total lock on this. But I would definitely recommend out-competing them by being more disciplined. So don't try to hit all these different birds with one stone. Just go nuts on this. Go better digestion, less bloating and gas, absorb more vitamins and minerals from the food you eat, absorb more of the protein you eat, and help people with side effects from GLP-1 drugs. So over 31 million Americans taking GLP-1 drugs right now. So if you tap into just a fraction of that, you could absolutely pump this niche product. Yeah, so hope that helps. Hope you enjoyed this product review. If you have any requests for other products you would like me to break down in these videos, you're welcome to put it in the comments or send me a DM or wherever else you can find me. And I'd love to look through some more, as I have a gigantic list and it's always fun doing this. Okay, see you on the next video.